Hi, I'm Esme.
I'm Wynne.
And I'm Emma.
We are from the Santa Barbara Middle School Team Press.
And today we're here with
Joy.
Nice to see you, Joy.
So we have a couple questions for you. First question. We understand that you have two kids, Theo and Orchid. However, they do not go to SBMS. How did you find out about SBMS?
I have known Jake for many years. We have a mutual friend, and I also worked with Whitney Ingersoll's husband for many years. So I heard about middle school through him. I've seen some of the Teen Press stuff because Ada Heckes is a really good friend of mine, Iris's mom, and another friend of mine is on the board. So many, I've heard about SBMS through many people that I know and respect. So
thank you. We understand that you worked at Crane Country School, or you worked. What made you leave Crane and come to SBMS?
That's a good question. That's a complicated answer. I worked at Crane for many years, like 15 years, and I kind of needed a change. You know, sometimes your family, or sometimes life. You know, like when I started working there, I was pretty young. I got married the very next year. I actually got married at Crane, and then life changes over years, and my kids were older. They had different needs, so I just needed a different change. Yeah.
Thank you. You do teach 8th grade Spanish. Are there any specific life experiences that have influenced your teaching style?
Teaching style, yes. I have a very different approach to teaching than even when I taught at Crane, and that's from being a parent. So I think if I were to think of two experiences, one would be being from a kind of a bicultural, biracial family. So my dad is Mexican American and my mom is white. So that always made me interested in what the sort of play between Spanish and English, and those cultures sometimes clashing and sometimes blending really beautifully. And then the other thing I would say is having a kid with learning disabilities has totally changed my approach to teaching, because the most important thing is that you feel safe, loved, and cared for and seen, not all the rest. Yeah. So that's...
Thank you.
Have you taught any subjects other than Spanish?
I have. I've taught electives. I taught a French elective. I taught a cooking around the world elective. And I've taken lots of students on travel abroad. So we've done a lot of adventures in Peru and Costa Rica and Mexico.
Thank you so much.
We found that you attended Harvard for grad school. What was the most challenging part?
Oh my gosh, taking me back. I think, the really cool part was people from all over the world, and people really sort of motivated and doing interesting things. I think what was challenging was it's hard to be in community when everyone's striving for perfection.
Can you talk more about how you said everybody at Harvard is striving for perfection? For perfection.
It's kind of ironic because people are, I won't lie, I think going to a school like that opens a lot of doors, for sure, in terms of jobs and access to different people and places. But I think if you are in any kind of elite school, there's a sense of looking out for oneself as opposed to prioritizing, looking out for your community. So you'll see that as you grow up. Maybe you'll learn the same thing. Maybe you'll come away with something different. But I think that the older I get, the more I prioritize kind of solidarity and community, because I think there are high costs to that kind of elitism in terms of all kinds of things, relationships. I had professors who had spouses in different states, and I realized like that's not the kind of life that I want to live, where I'm just really separated from family and friends because they prioritize their job so much. So, that's what I have to say about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You sort of answered this already, but what was your favorite part?
Oh, favorite part? I had never lived in New England, so just being in a totally different part of the country and absorbing what it meant, what it means to be American in Boston is very different from what it means to be American in California, and also just learning about lots of different Caribbean Spanish-speaking cultures. So a lot of people were from Puerto Rico or the Dominican or Cuba, and those I didn't really know that much about those places. So learning about those places, both in the United States and then from a lot of communities that are in Boston there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Good question.